Your next speaker, Sean Mahoney. Sean Mahoney.
Morning. Earlier this year, several of my neighbors and I were shocked to learn that a major upgrade of the runways at Dallas Executive Airport had been approved as an item on a consent agenda. This was the first time most of us had heard about this. Over several months, we organized to try to get more information to be included in this process. Along the way, we discovered that we were supposed to have been included, and in fact, the documentation was saying that we had been. I spent many days walking in the neighborhoods around my house, knocking on doors and speaking with my neighbors. The main thing that I took from these discussions was that the vast majority of people that live in the area had no idea what the airport was planning and seemed to be against any upgrade to the runways. With much effort and public outreach by a group of area residents, we thought we had finally convinced the city to fulfill the public involvement that all the documentation said had already been done. A new advisory committee was formed, and the neighborhood associations around the airport were invited to join the committee. Unfortunately, the thought that we were actually being involved was short-lived. To date, these committee meetings have been nothing more than a recap of the same information we had all heard previously. We had not worked in any way as the original concept of the committee was to have worked, to provide input for the development of a master plan that, and I quote from the draft master plan, ensures that a realistic, viable plan is developed. There has not been a deeper look into any of the data that is being used to justify an upgrade of 50% weight capacity to the runways, nor has there been any sincere attempt by the aviation department to solicit input from the committee members. In fact, the committee was told that any input they may provide would not be used to make changes to the draft master plan or the airport layout plan, even though this was the original intent of the advisory committee. The actions of the city when it comes to projects that directly affect citizens has been very consistent. The city seems to do whatever it can to exclude participation. This is evident with the runway upgrades at DEA, in the Sam's Club case, as well as the agenda item later today on the commemorative Air Force. In addition to the city's lack of candor with the citizens, it seems to have an endless pocketbook to give these organizations, such as the CAF, millions of taxpayer dollars, and to spend millions of dollars to prop up failing ventures such as DEA, while failing to provide basic city services for its citizens. The benefits of this spending for neighborhoods that are going to have to deal with the consequences are very shaky at best. I ask the city to begin honest inclusion of its citizens and to reconsider its approval of the upgrades at DEA and the proposal to the CAF until such a time as citizen input has happened. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mahoney.
Your next